A new Minosaur rampages through the city while Ko and the other RyuSoulgers struggle against this Minosaur that can petrify people with its gaze. Suddenly, RyuSoul Green, Toa, and RyuSoul Black, Bamba, appear before the other RyuSoulgers, and both of them are strong enough to overwhelm the Minosaur's power. Both Toa and Bamba are dissatisfied with the strength of Ko and the other's spirits and refuse to consider them as allies. Just then, Yui suddenly starts suffering and collapses on the ground. It turns out she's the host of the Minosaur, as Toa and Bamba stand over her body, pointing their swords directly at her. Kishiryu Sentai RyuSoulger Episode 3, Cursed Gaze. So, this was an okay to good episode. We start off with the rest of the RyuSoulgers, Melt and Asuna, of the main core three at the moment, being introduced to their Kishiryu, Triken, and Ankylo's. Asuna straight away has a good starts off a good friendship with Ankylo's. Melt and Triken, not particularly. Triken doesn't like being talked down to, and Melt is just like, well, we created you, and when Ko telling him, still that doesn't matter, he wants to be treated as an equal, as a partner, not as a pet or a creation. So while that's going on, Yui is starting to suffer from headaches, from illnesses, and this coincides with the appearance of the Medusa Minosaur, which can turn people into stone if they look into its eyes. And it like with all Minosaurs, it only says one thing. It says, look. And when it does that, they have to look away from it, or they'll be turned into stone. And this brings the attention of RyuSoul Green and RyuSoul Black, the brothers Toa and Bamba, who are able to momentarily defeat the Minosaurs before Tank Joe and Kurion arrive to let it escape. And since this is their proper introduction, probably seeing them outside of the suit. We've only seen them in suits for the Super Sentai Strongest Battle and for the first 2 episodes of RyuSoulger. We get an idea of their mindset. Their mindset is the mission is more important than anything. The mission comes first. Everything else we don't have to do, because if it doesn't have anything to do with the mission, it's not important. As such, when they discover that Yui is the host of the Medusa Minosaur, both brothers are willing to kill her to kill the Minosaur. That they're connected to one another. If the host dies, so does the Minosaur. In their eyes, the ends justifies the means. Hey, we defeated the Minosaur. Day saved. I do not see what the problem is. While Ko, Melt, and Asuna don't want her to die for obvious reasons. They should be protecting humanity, and Yui is a friend of theirs. So differing opinions, like Melt kind of understands the logic to it, but he's not siding with Toa and Bamba. So with the 2 brothers, with RyuSoul Green and RyuSoul Black, they're obnoxious. They're obnoxious, full of themselves, because they've been RyuSoulgers longer than those 3. It's implied that they've been longer since they left the village before them. They constantly train. They're much stronger. They're not easily defeated by the Minosaurs that they fight, particularly the Medusa Minosaur they were fighting. So, in short, they think they're better. Toa will say it, not Bamba. Bamba doesn't talk. He doesn't talk a lot, despite the fact he's the oldest of the 2. Bamba is quiet. He's stoic. He seems like more of a action speak louder than words kind of guy. While Toa is the voice. He's the authority figure of the 2 brothers, and he's the main one that's voiced at his opinions that the 3 RyuSoulgers that they've met are weak. They don't want to be allies with them because they're weak, and they're not willing to make sacrifices for the mission. We had some good development with Yui, which was, while it was good, it was very early and quick. So when Yui overhears that if she dies, so does the Minosaur, She has this sad, sentimental moment with her father, pretty much saying goodbye without outright saying it. And she goes to the location of where they used to excavate fossils, a cherished memory and location for her. And she wants to jump off the cliff and commit suicide to kill the Minosaur. Yes, it's for a family show, dark, kind of dark. But Asuna stops her and says, "We're not going to let you die. You're important. You're important to everyone because you're our friend." While I don't believe Asuna would say that just to stop Yui from committing suicide. From Asuna's personality, she doesn't seem like the kind of person who would say something because they know the person wants to hear that. So it was sincere, and she was speaking from her heart to a degree that Yui is important to her as a friend. The problem is that they've only known her for like 1 or 2 days. There isn't that much of a friendship or relationship between Yui and Asuna, or Yui and any of the other characters that isn't her father. So it was kind of a reach because the plot demanded it. That's why I think this was too early to do this for an episode. To a ally gets something wrong happens to the ally, or the ally is kidnapped, or the ally is forced to create a monster, etc. I would have imagined this would have been somewhere near the halfway point, but for the third episode, it was very early to do something like this. I like the development for Yui. She's more than just goofy slapstick comedy relief character. But too early. It was too early to do something like this. The fight scenes, I would have liked to see more of the Ranger fight scenes. They're actually good from what we see, but they're kind of quick. I would like to see more of those. The mech fight was okay as well. It wasn't as good as the first 2 episodes. Melt and Asuna join in the cockpit for Kishiryu 3 Nights. It could have been a much better moment if 3 Nights wasn't introduced in the first episode. This would have been a better episode to introduce it. So the first episode, it should just been Kishiryu, which is just Tiramigo's humanoid robot form, and then have 3 Nights in this episode, all of them working together. There wasn't particularly, kind of everyone got a focus in this episode. Particularly with Melt and Asuna, which is really good. But it wasn't really all over the place, but it couldn't keep its focus on which characters. Like Melt and Asuna did get a quite a bit of focus in this episode. Then they wanted to bring in Toa and Bamba, give them focus as well. You had the stuff with Yui as well. Ko actually really didn't get a lot in this episode. I think he got enough from the first 2 episodes, so it's good to give everyone else some. But given the pacing, it does come off as it's slightly over the place, but it wasn't a completely terrible thing. So I would rate this episode 3, Cursed Gaze, a 3.5 RyuSouls out of 5. It was above average. It was okay. The mech fights were okay. The overall story was good despite how early and quick it was in the series to do a story like this. I'm hoping Toa and Bamba don't join the team officially yet. Going from the previews or for the next episode, it could be they're just going to be, at least for the mech fights, they're going to work with them out of necessity. It's just like, well, we don't have our Kishiryu yet, and when a Minosaur does become big, it is beneficial to us, but we're not going to be on your team, okay? Don't call us allies. We're not going to be part of your RyuSoulgers team. We're still doing our own thing for now. I feel like when they have their first big story arc finish, they'll get the team together. Hopefully yeah, hopefully it's not just like episodes 4 and 5. Yep, we're in the team now. Yes, we're a team now. Hopefully not, but this is Toei, and we'll see. So that is all. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. 正義に使え闇を立て、キシル